folks, I'm Ian Baker, the product specialist with Camping World, and today we're going to go over the 2018 Keystone Passport 2900 RK. It's a little bit different take on most rear kitchen floor plans that have this setup, as they put the U-dinette on the camp side and then your rocking chairs on the off-door side. So some changes here in the floor plan, which makes some greater changes throughout the entire thing. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive in. And one of my favorite parts, and as I said, one of the biggest changes is this right here, the fact that they put in a very large U-dinette. And folks, I love this in this floor plan. This is probably my favorite part about this setup, because right here it's very inviting. You kind of come in, everyone can sit right around here. You know, whether you're having breakfast together or if you're playing a game, everyone sits right there. And myself, I like to entertain, so I can be back here in the kitchen, you know, making cocktails, making food, whatever it may be, and still be fully engaged in any conversation that's going on. You'll notice you have the leatherette for both the back and the seat here, which is great. That way it's super easy cleanup. The table itself here also does drop down. You'll notice it is a large table. A lot of times U-dinettes, the really small tables, not a problem here. You can easily fit 4 plates on here. And as I said, that does drop down into a bed. So if guests want to stay the night, you can sleep 2 adults here. You also have easy access storage underneath. Rather than having to lift up the cushions to get to it, you have doors on both sides. You'll see ducted heat ducts all throughout the floor here. You also have ducted AC up top. Take a look right over to the side. This is cool too. So as soon as you walk in, you have this nice little bench seat. That way you can sit down right here. Makes it easy to put your shoes on. And then when you do come in, you can take your shoes off and store them right there. That way they're not clogging up this entrance. So I think that's, again, you know, I like they put that in there. That's a nice feature in my opinion. Right down here, you have a little courtesy light. So that way as soon as you walk in, you can see, make sure you're not tripping over anything. And if we take a look up top, your main control panel is right here on the side. You'll see you have your water heater on here. Notice that does run off both LP gas and electric. You can turn both those on at the same time for faster recovery. Slides, tank monitoring panel, everything is built in right there. If you come over to this side, you'll see the multimedia center right here. Folks, that one is a radio CD player and a DVD player. It is already pre-wired to the TV, so you can just throw a DVD in and watch it. Another cool feature is that is also Bluetooth capable. So if you have music on your smartphone or tablet, or maybe you just downloaded the latest edition of the Stories from the Road podcast, you want to listen to that, you can simply hook it up via Bluetooth and you are good to go. Right up top here, we'll open this up. You'll see you have good storage there as well. You don't have a vertical style, so you are able to fit some larger items in there. And then right over to the side here is the TV. This is on a swing arm mount. As I mentioned, you know, the DVD player is already hooked up to it. That's what these are right here. It does require a little bit of cable management. I'd probably get back there with some zip ties just to make it a little bit cleaner. But I like the fact it's up there because that is straight across from the couch and you still have a great shot from your rockers right here to the TV. And in this floor plan, I like it much better here than over here where it generally is. So again, I think that they did a good job there. Directly underneath here, you'll see you have 2 LED lights as well as an electrical outlet there. So not only does that help you see at night, obviously, but if you need to plug in any electronics while sitting at that U-dinette, you can easily do that. Coming over further, again, this is a rear kitchen. You'll see all along the top, you have storage from here all the way back into the kitchen here. Good storage all the way throughout. Nice decorative doors too. You know, they kind of put the trim on there. I like they did that. Kind of helps it pop rather than just being like a straight flat panel. Now if you look at the countertops themselves, one of the big reasons we get rear kitchens is because you get lots of countertop space, and this is no exception. You have this space over here. You have this beautiful, huge prep space right here without anything interfering. You can get a cooktop cover if you want. It does come with dual sink top covers here as well. So again, you can utilize a ton of this. These are also cutting board quality. So if you want, take it off, flip it over, chop whatever up you need to. You're good to go. I do recommend just using one side as a cutting board though. That way you only have one side with the knife marks. The other side will stay looking nice. That way you can have it just like this when guests come to visit. When we do remove that, that'll reveal the double bowl sink, larger on the left, smaller on the right, and then you have the high-rise faucet there too. If we drop down real quick here for me, I'll open this up. You'll notice you have access to the storage right there underneath the sink, as well as 2 very large full extension ball bearing drawers. That way you have a place for some of your larger utensils right down there. There's actually another drawer in here for the flatware. Most passports just have the two. This one actually has a third right over here. It's a little tricky. You kind of have to stick your fingers right up here and pull that guy out, but you can see, you know, this is probably where you want to put your flatware just because it's easy to get to. And then directly underneath, you'll notice you have that big storage area down there, which is perfect for pots and pans, or even better, probably a trash can. You also have storage right under here. This is kind of that same access as the side door, or same storage area rather, just different access. So, you know, again, if you put the trash can in there, it's probably a good spot for your pots and pans right over there. Over here to the side is your 3-burner cooktop. When we drop that down, you'll see the oven in case you want to do some baking. And then up top, you have your hood here with the light and fan, microwave, cubby hole. Kind of shows you the storage going across. As far as electrical outlets, you have 2 in the kitchen. You have 1 right here. And then you'll have another one right there in the corner. So I'd probably put my coffee maker in the corner because I live and breathe off caffeine in the morning. I'm a grump without it. At least that's what my wife tells me. So that's probably what I'd put over there. But, you know, again, I like the fact they have a couple different options as far as where you can plug things in at. Right over here is the refrigerator freezer combo. Plenty of space in there, folks. Couple of drawers there as well. This unit does run off both propane and electric and also has automatic switchover. And lastly, I love that they have this. You have a versatile kind of storage space here. You do have a hanging rod in here. Personally, I think it would be kind of awkward to use this as closed storage. You know, if you were really struggling, you needed a place to hang up jackets, if you did like a lot of fall camping, you certainly could use it for that, you know, remove these shelves here. But if it were me, it's right here in the kitchen. I would probably use this for pantry space more often than not. But again, at least you do have the option. Now when we take a look across the way here, you have the big super slide. And again, as I mentioned, this one changes it up a little bit because you have your 2 swivel rockers here, as well as the tri-fold sofa. These are comfortable. You know, this one, again, is in a little more of an awkward spot just because it's kind of almost in the kitchen area. But at least you can still sit here and watch TV. You know, you can still engage in conversation. You know, this one is probably my favorite seat in the house. You do have such a great view to the TV, and you can talk to anyone basically no matter where they're sitting in here. But that's another cool thing. If you like entertaining, there is a ton of seating in here. So 2 swivel rockers right there, which is cool. A couple big windows here to let in a lot of natural light. And then right over here, as I mentioned, is the tri-fold sofa. So cool thing about tri-fold, folks, is it's actually a fairly comfortable bed to sleep on. There's not a bar on your back. It's not an air mattress that's going to deflate on you in the middle of the night. It actually uses the cushions itself. You can see this right here. Like this actually folds down. Essentially, this lifts up and out. That back part folds down, and that becomes a sleeping space. And again, you can sleep 2 adults here. So 2 here, you have 2 over here. You can comfortably sleep 4 people in here besides yourselves up in the master bedroom. And then right here, again, you have a little bit of extra storage. This is kind of nice, too. The thing I like about this, you know, at first, I kind of wish they would have made this into a coat closet, which I suppose you still could. You could put a couple hooks up there. But I also like it for a small vacuum. You know, if you have like some of those little shark vacuums they make now, you can put it in there. You know, a small broom or something there, too, to sweep up. And then, of course, you have the storage on that side. Coming back around to the front real quick here, you will see that you have your thermostat right there. That one does control both your heat as well as your AC. So we step into the bathroom here. You'll see there are 2 entrances and exits. One right here into the main living area. The other one right behind me goes into the master bedroom. Right in between is the foot flush lever toilet here. I'll take a seat. You'll see I definitely have plenty of leg room. I'm pretty broad in the shoulders here, and I still don't have much of an issue. Like, I'm still fairly comfortable here. So I'd imagine that most other people will be as well. Directly across from me is the neo-angle shower. You'll notice they have kind of the decorative glass on here, which is pretty cool. Simple locking mechanism. Just has this guy, just flips over, locks in place just like that. That way it's not bouncing all over during travel. It's magnetic here, so that way it stays shut as you're showering. And then we need to get in there, you open it up just like so. If we take a look inside, you'll see you have shelves here, hand wand, big skylight up top as well. I'll actually step in here just to give you an idea of height. So I'm 6 foot. You see I can actually stand underneath the ceiling. Underneath the skylight, I have a couple more inches yet. The other thing I like about this, folks, is after you're done showering, all the water that's on the doors will go right down into the shower pan. Instead of a swing style door where you swing it open and then a lot of times it's all over your floor or a curtain. You know, I definitely prefer this style of door right here. Now, if we take a look over to the side, mirrored medicine cabinet, you'll see you have storage behind that, little cubby hole here underneath. You have a sink top, electrical outlet right over there, and then underneath you have some additional storage. So we step into the master bedroom, you will see the queen bed located right in the center. Folks, one of my favorite thing about Passport is the fact that the beds are true 60 by 80 residential queen size beds. So if you're a taller person, you're sick of having your feet hang off, then this is definitely a good one for you, again, because it is that true 80-inch length for residential queen size. Then underneath, you'll notice you have kind of some split storage here. That way, if you have some larger items, you can easily get in there. On both sides of the bed, you have mirrored wardrobe. You'll see the hanging rod going across there, a little shelf up top, as well as a little nightstand down below. And then you also have electrical outlets on both sides of the bed. You have windows on both sides too. And if you take a look right over here, you will see connections for a TV. So if you want a TV in the bedroom, you can mount that right there. And as I mentioned, you do have two entrances here, one into the bathroom. The other one right here will take you out to the main living area. Now that we've seen the inside, let's take a look at some of the outside features on the Passport 2900 RK. Right up front here, you have your two 20-pound propane tanks with the black cover. Simply undo these two thumb screws, lift up the door, and that will give you access to those tanks. Behind that, you see rails here for your battery. And coming up the front, you have some diamond plating to help protect the front end from some of the rocks and debris that may get thrown up by your tow vehicle. As we come around to the side, you'll see the pass-through right here. Notice how it does have a covered hinge. That way you don't have a bunch of rust coming down your door. It's also magnetic, so you can put it up there. You don't have any plastic clips or anything that you're going to forget about and accidentally snap off. If we take a look inside the pass-through, you'll notice how big and open it is. It's clean, and you have the same size door on both sides. So that way if you put some of your larger items like executive chair, grill in here, you can access it from either side. An LED light in there, of course, too. If we drop down real quick, one of the things I do want to show you folks is this one actually utilizes huck bolt construction rather than welds. The cool thing about that is, one, it's a lot easier to repair if you ever do get into an accident, meaning it'll save you some money. And the other neat thing is that generally when the frame rusts out, it usually starts right at that weld seam. So by eliminating that weld seam, you help reduce the chance for rust to start there. So definitely some big advantages there in huck bolts. You also have an enclosed and heated underbelly in there, folks. So the cool thing about that is it helps keep some rodents out of there during storage, helps keep all the road grime off from when you're traveling, and because it is heated, it also allows you to camp later into that fall season. So you make your way back a little further here. You see the entryway has 3 fold-out steps. You'll notice how the first one here is nice and low. That way it's super easy to get on, even if you have bad knees. You're not going to hurt yourself climbing in and out of here. Plus, you have the foldable grab handle right here just to give you a little extra control. You take a look up top, you will notice your power awning. Just touch a button to roll that out. Same thing to have it go right back in. LED light strip there as well, so you have light at night. And even though this is a bigger RV, notice how our only slide is on the off door side. You don't have one here. So this space right here is all great usable camp space. You don't have a slide that is impeding. Right down here are your wheels. You'll see the beautiful aluminum alloy wheels, which not only look great now, but will continue to do so for years to come because the aluminum does not rust. It also utilizes what Keystone calls the load equalization axles, which is essentially a wide axle system. By having that wider axle, that wider wheelbase, it helps reduce sway as you're towing this down the road, giving you an overall better performing towing unit. Right here, you have the dual electrical outlet, so if you're looking to plug anything in while you're outside, that is the place to do it. If we take a look up top, you'll notice a couple things. One, you'll see the 4 windows going across here. That really lets a lot of natural light in, folks. It's really cool. This part here is for the kitchen, the other part for the main living area, but again, that is a lot of light coming into the coach. You'll also see your outside speakers right here. As I mentioned inside, those are connected to your multimedia center, but again, that is Bluetooth capable. Right back here is your outside kitchen. I love when they give you an outside kitchen, especially because a lot of times, it's most commonly in the past years have been only on bunk models. Now they're starting to put them in some of the rear kitchens, some of the rear baths, and I personally love it because I love to cook outside. But the top here, you have a little bit of storage. You'll get this guy right here, which is your pull-out cooktop. It pulls out just like so. 2-burner cooktop there. You'll see it does have your propane line right here. That will plug in to your propane quick connect, which is right down there. So that way you can plug in that cooktop. If you have a grill that you want to plug in, folks, you can set up your grill here, plug that into. Just bear in mind that you'll want to take off your pressure regulator because there is one already up at the tanks and you don't want to reduce the pressure twice. Right over here is your refrigerator, so that way, you can have some condiments out here, maybe some beverages. I know that's what I would have, but again, it's super easy access, so you don't have to constantly fill ice in a cooler. Then as we make our way to the back, you'll see the spray port right here for outside water access. That hose was actually up in the pass-through. That's what that blue coiled hose was. You can plug that guy right into there. Right up top is your backup camera prep. It's a pretty good size RV, folks. If you want a backup camera, having the prep makes it a lot easier to install, meaning it'll also be less expensive to install. Then right down here, you have your square tubular bumper with end caps, which provides a storage space for your sewer hose. And mounted to that is this guy right here, which is your spare tire with a cover. Cool thing about this is it's probably one of the easiest places to get to your spare tire. You don't have to get underneath the RV or on your hands and knees. Plus, if you need the bumper realty, if you want to take this off and throw it in the back of your truck or whatever, you can do that. It's just 4 bolts, it simply unscrews. Here on the off-door side, in front of the slide, is your main termination. Right here, you will have your black tank valve as well as one of your gray tanks. On this camper, folks, you do have a second gray tank for that rear kitchen. That one is located behind your rear axle. Right up top here, you'll see your 30-amp power cord. Just pull that right out and plug it in. That way you have shore power. And then just moving up a little bit further, outside shower with both hot and cold water access. Directly above that is your black tank flush. This is a great feature to have, folks. After you're done draining out your black tank, what you want to do is hook a hose up right here. The black tank actually has sprayers built in it, and it will help actually power wash out any solids that are left in the bottom of that tank. Lastly, right up here are your 2 water inlets. The front one here is your gravity fill to fill your freshwater tank, and the one right behind that is your city water inlet. All right, folks, that wraps it up. Again, this is the 2018 Keystone Passport 2900 RK. If you're interested in this travel trailer and you'd like price and availability, simply click on the link in the description below. Thanks again for watching. I'm Ian Baker, and let's go camping.